Hello, my lovelies. It is time for another round of Cards Against my TBR, so stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Cards Against my TBR is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. And the way this one works is I have 26 Cards Against Humanity question cards and 26 Cards Against Humanity answer cards for a full 52 card deck. I shuffle them up, I draw 5 cards, and I pick books that either answer the question or fill in the blank, or if it's an answer card, I'll find a book that card makes me think of. So before we get started, let me go over how I did for both October and November. Now, it is currently November 19th, I believe, so I still have like a week and a half left in the month. Yes. So maybe I can get some more of these done, but we'll see. But because of all the traveling, I did not read nearly as much as I had hoped. Okay, so for October, this is what I was to read. So for the card, "Hey baby, come back to my place and I'll show you a blank," I selected The Family Upstairs, and I have not read this one. This one is actually going to go back on the shelves, and I'm going to put this back in the deck and select something new this time around. We'll stick this here. Hopefully this don't fall on my head. Okay, for the card The Glass Ceiling, I was to read Dreamland Burning by Jennifer Latham, and I'm currently about halfway through this, so I am going to complete that. For the card Mom's To-Do List by Groceries, Cleanup Blank, Soccer Practice, I was to read Candy for Christmas by Joanne Fluke, and I have not read this, but my plan is if I don't finish it before the end of this month, which hopefully I will be rolling this one over. Okay, so the next card I can't find. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was, I think the card was Bananas. I don't know where that card is right now, but the card was Bananas, and I selected something that I thought was funny. And for that, I selected Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. Again, I don't know where that card is, but I did read Tweet Cute, and it was very cute. For the card, I Miss Tennessee, and if I could make the world better by changing one thing, I would get rid of blank. For that, I selected The Quicksilver Court by Melissa Caruso. I have the Obsidian Tower here. I did read that. So all in all, not too bad for the October ones. Now on to the November ones. So for the card, You Can Call Me David Copperfield because I'm about to make blank disappear, I selected All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. I did not read this, and I am putting this one back in the deck. For the card Matchmaker, Matchmaker, Make Me a Match, Find Me Blank, I selected A Novel Love Story. I can't remember who the author is, but I have not read that, but that is one that I am going to be reading, so I'm rolling that one over. For the card Being Awesome at Sex, I selected Queen Takes Rose by Katie Robert, and I have not read this, and I'm going to be putting this card back in the deck and selecting something new. For the card True Love's Kiss, I selected American Panda by Gloria Chow, and I have not read this, and I'm not rolling it over. I'm putting this card back in the deck. And for the card Major League Baseball has banned blank for giving players an unfair advantage. For that one, I selected Strange Gods by Allison Kimball. I have not read this, and I'm not rolling it over, so this one's going back in the deck. Normally I would consider rolling over a lot more, but there was a lot this time, and I have a lot that I want to try to fit in for December, like a lot. I have stacks of books that I'd like to try to find a way to squeeze into my December TBR, so yeah, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so I have my cards here. We're going to shuffle these up and pick 5 new ones. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. So we got 4 answer cards and 1 question card. So we'll stick that one in the middle like so. All right. Our first answer card is Hoop Nugget, the game where you throw a nugget into a hoop. Okay, so I feel like this one, either food related or sports or a game. So let's see. Oh, before I get into actually picking this one, I need to tell you, so when I filmed my November Cards Against My TBR, I didn't know what the Have I Read It winners were because of when I was filming that. So I can tell you those now, as well as the most recent Have I Read It winners for this round. So for Have I Read It number 79, the winner was The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. For Have I Read It number 80, the winner was Voyage of the Frost Heart. I have it, it's just buried in the pile. For Have I Read It number 81, the winner was The Coincidence of Coconut Cake. For Have I Read It number 82, there were 2 winners because of how many I had. So in first place was The Midnight Lie, and in second place is The Book Club by Mary Alice Monroe, which is right here. And The Midnight Lie is by Marie Rutowski. And then for Have I Read It number 83, the winner was The Golden Compass. Okay, so now let me see what I can find for this card. I did not have in my stack anything that had anything to do with sports, or as far as I could tell, anything to do with a game. The closest thing I could find was something that was sort of involving food, and that is Pupcakes by Annie England Noblin. And this is the group book for Mary Bookmiss, so I'm glad I can fit this on. This says he stood in the doorway, overweight, depressed, nearly homeless. He was a pug named Teddy Roosevelt, and he was Bertie Benson's new full-time 4-legged housemate. True, Teddy was a little bit gassy, a little bit grumpy, but Bertie figured he was no worse than her ex-husband and probably a whole lot more faithful. Plus, he was part of the deal. Pet sit Teddy and live in a lovely home rent-free. Navigating her newly single world wasn't easy, but Bertie knew a couple of things. First, she was a darn good baker. Second, she wasn't going to let circumstances get the better of her. So she began to rebuild her world, making new friends like cute local veterinarian Nathan Reed, Teddy's irrescribable owner, Polly Newman, and new work colleagues who began to remind her what the true meaning of family was all about. As Halloween turned into Christmas time, Bertie's disdain for Teddy and her new life turned into a love she hadn't known she still had inside of her. She began to realize that baking for Teddy could be just as satisfying as baking for humans. After all, dogs rarely complain. And somewhere, in between gluten-free dog bones and crisp apple tarts, Bertie found the life she'd never known she always wanted. So, this is what I'm going to select for Hoop Nugget. Okay, our next answer card says Chinese people. Okay, let me see what I can find for this one. Okay, so for this one, I decided I wanted to go with a book by a Chinese author, and I was looking at what I have, and the thing that appealed to me the most is actually a reread, because I have this series, but I've only read the first book in the series, and that was 4 years ago. Now, 4 years ago, I gave the first book 5 stars, so I really, really enjoyed it, and I remember, generally what it was about, but it's been 4 years since I read it, and I don't think I could read the next book without rereading the first book, and that is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. And I said, this book is amazing. I have already pre-ordered the sequel. I cannot wait to read it. This is Mulan meets Project Runway meets Aladdin. So good, so much fun to read. So this is what I'm going to select for Chinese people. Okay, for our question card we have, maybe she's born with it, maybe it's blank. I have a lot of really good options here. Okay, so I have a lot of titles here that I think would work really cute in here. So I'm going to get Marty to listen to these two and help me pick which one of these. Marty is sitting almost directly behind the camera, right over here. So I'm filling in the blank here. It says, maybe she's born with it, maybe it's blank. Okay? So maybe she's born with it, maybe it's a merry little meet cute. Maybe it's the midnight lie. Maybe it's the antisocial season. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's a princess for Christmas. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's the nightmare before Christmas. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's his dark materials. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's the smell of other people's houses. Or maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's the Santa Company. Which one do you think?
Either the smell of other people's houses or his dark materials.
Okay, so we got the smell of other people's houses or his dark materials. I'm going to go with the smell of other people's houses. So let me stick that in there. Also, this battery's about to die, so let me go change that out and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. On to our next answer card. This one is doing my duty to your booty. Okay, I feel like this should be a romance. Maybe a little smutty. Let me see what I got. Okay, so I think for this one, I'm going to go with The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rosh. This says, get ready for this sexy, quirky rom-com where the golden-hearted Prince of Christmas falls for the totally off-limits Prince of Halloween. I think this is going to be fun. And it does say it leads to one of the sweetest, sexiest, messiest, most delightfully unforgettable love stories of the year. So I think this one will be cute. Okay, on to our last answer card. This one says, finding a place to sit down. Okay, we could go lots of ways with this. One where I have to physically sit down and read because there's not like an audiobook for it or anything. Or just something that's cozy, you want to take a minute to, get into and enjoy. I think, oh gosh, this is tough. Like, I want to read so many of these. All right, you know what? I'm going to be gentle on myself. I'm going to go with one that I don't have an audiobook for, but this is going to be a quick read. This is The Santa Company by Berlinda Wall. This was actually sent to me by the author, and I met them on a cruise. This is only 122 pages. I think it'll be a very, very quick read. This says, Santa Claus has to make the most important decision of his life. Who will replace him as his health deteriorates? The head elf, Barnabas Crenshaw, has a solution. Sell the North Pole to the Santa Company Corporation. Santa's only condition for the sale to happen is that the elves must be taken care of. But shortly after Santa vacates the North Pole, the elves are hurried into sleighs and flown to the new rundown workshop on the volcanic jungle island of Topingo in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The corporate heads of the Santa Company immediately prioritize money over the elves' safety. Santa realizes that he's been swindled and is mortified by the danger the elves have been placed in. With the help of his gay publicist and family, Santa must restore everyone's faith in him if he has any hopes of reclaiming the North Pole and bringing the elves back home. So, I'm going to select this one for that. Okay, so those are all 5 cards for this round. I will tell you my buzzword, my TBR knockout, and my Merry Bookmas TBR all after I do my Wheel of TBR, which will be coming probably the next video you see. So, have you guys read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!